When you are guarded, you've closed your heart center off to source. This is something that may or may not be common knowledge, but when you are at your highest point, you're connected into source. Source moves down through you, through the heart, and this is what is right. But when you have gone through so many things, you might accidentally close down your heart space, pull it in, shrink it. You might do this because you can feel what energetically connecting with another feels like. And your body will not want to open up and take up space. And so you will see this in the auric field where someone will pull their aura tightly in when they are struggling, whereas people who are safe and magnanimous, they have massive auric fields. People who are good manifestors, massive auric fields. You can feel the person from the other room before you walk in, and this is the strength of love that they carry, the strength of source that they carry, the strength of allowing that they carry. I think many people would look at that and they would think, oh, this is just a person who has had it easy. That is not it. That is not true, and that is not it. And that is something that we are pointedly saying, that is not it. What it is simply someone who has either maybe grown up with that trusting space, or they've had building blocks of warm people around them, or maybe they've discovered it on their own. But today we're talking about being guarded. What are the advantages to being guarded? Well, you protect yourself, but at what cost? When you have pulled all your energy inward, when you are struggling with something like avoidance, or something like a refusal to engage, something like isolation, when you are struggling, what you need to feed for your field to be full, for you to feel the way that you need to, is connection. You need healthy connection. Our heart fields offer that connection. It's not just your connection to source that matters, but your connection to everyone else. And you can be very spiritually connected because you struggle with personal connection. You could trust and leap into what feels safe to you, what you know feels good to you, which might be your spiritual practices. But we encourage you to make the same point to connect into the people around you that are safe for you, because this is the joy of being human. When your field is shrunk down, when your heart space is very deeply guarded, it becomes more and more difficult for things to come into your life. It also starves you energetically. Your heart, your literal physical heart, it circulates. And your heart, your auric field of your heart's intelligence, it is what also circulates through the field, through the body. It is a pump, literally. It is a pump for that reason. And when it pumps, when it moves, it circulates energy, and that energy animates the body. So what happens if the heart is not circulating the proper amount of energy? Well, that's what happens when the heart is closed off. And when the heart has been closed off for too long, that energy circuit is not reaching. It's the same thing as blood not reaching. When the energy does not reach, things can become starved, they can become stuck, they can become not moved, they can become drudgy, intense, sticky. And all of that needs to find a way to move out of the body. Because what happens if it doesn't is that it stagnates. And we would say that one of the best ways to move this through the body would actually be connection. The human heart greatly struggles without connection. Its field cannot connect, and what you may not know is your auric field and everything within it. It is sustained via the size of that field and the connection. Things need to land in your auric field to manifest. They need to land within. They need to be contained somewhere. And so when there is not enough space, It's like having too small of a backyard. Can't let your dogs run in there. Need a bigger backyard. Need a bigger one, need a bigger one, need a bigger one. Your heart becomes stronger physically, it becomes stronger energetically because the two are linked. So the human body has quite a bit to do with this, and keeping your body in the right shape will exponentially get you farther with this process, because the thing is, it's stability. And so if someone is having issues with the energetics within their heart, they are also having issues with stability. And that stability means that they cannot circulate. So you might see issues like money. You might see holding on to things too long. You might see not letting go. You might see holding on. You might see jumping from thing to thing before it's had that cycle of longevity. And we are bringing apples to this channel's attention because they have everything to do with this topic. Apples are heart strengthening. Apples are beautifully heart strengthening. And that is why you hear something like an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, it's also going to keep energetic woes away too. Apples are deeply abundant. So if you're struggling with circulation and you're struggling with the physical heart center's energy, you're going through something really heavy, apples could be very, very good for you at this point in time. What we would liken it to, what we would be expressing here, is that your heart, it requires that expansion. Without that expansion, it can be so much more difficult for you to connect with what it is you are meant to connect to in this life. And when you keep yourself shrunk, when you keep yourself closed in, it is very hard to bring in the opportunities, the people. So those of you who are struggling with trying to find the right people, trying to find the soul family that you need, heart field expansion is the way that you're going to find that. Your heart field is a recognition. When you interact with someone else's heart field, you know who they are on an energetic level. People who have very big heart fields, like this channel, who have very big heart fields, who take that time regularly to move through what they need to move through, who only keep the people that feel the most aligned in their life. People like this are able to hold and support other people very easily. It is easy to find a resonant signature when you are a resonant signature. And so if you are not getting the level of nutrition, or if you are not getting the level of soul deep nourishment that you are needing, whether that's spiritual, whether that's literal in terms of food, whether that's blood oxygenation, whether that's a physical issue, or whether you're not moving your body, you need to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to be able to open that heart field. And if your physical body is not allowing that, in case of disability or anything of that sort, then you can expand the energetic heart field, and it will in turn benefit your physical heart. And this will make it easier, because when your heart field is too close to you, you cannot stabilize. And when you cannot stabilize, the things in your life will struggle to stay, they will struggle to circulate. Of course, stabilization is present in other areas of the field, 100%, but we are looking at the heart currently because that is the choice topic that we wanted to bring to the table today. We wanted to discuss opening up, moving that heart field, allowing it to expand, because the recognition that is available within the heart field will show you who is and who isn't the right fit for you. The more you strengthen that heart field, the more you are going to know, is this relationship right for me? Because your boundaries will become stronger and stronger, because you have fortification of that energy space. And when you have fortification of that energy space, what you interact with, it's going to be what's right for you, because that energy space will recognize the right space from others. So if you are struggling with knowing who is right for you in your life right now, we would really encourage working at the expansion of the heart field. And if you are struggling to move from one area of life from another, say you are dealing with something like poverty, or you might be dealing with something with lack of nourishment, lack of resources, lack of connection, we would encourage you to look at opening the heart field. And all that you need to do to open the heart field, you do not need anyone else's assistance for this. You can do this on your own. You can just call in the energy from source, just intend that you're connecting to the highest space within source, pull that energy down, pull it into the heart field, and imagine it moving out. Imagine it turning into a beautiful green light that pours out of you. And maybe if you wanted, you could imagine that it positively impacts everything you come into contact with. You could imagine it growing. And in this growing, what you'll come to see is it expands everything that you can hold and everything that you can have in your life. For so many people who have dealt with some form of starvation, of lack of nourishment, whether emotional, whether physical, this will help you learn how to stabilize. This will help you have the experience that you did not maybe grow up with, or if you have dealt with a lot of instability or you had unstable caregivers, etc., it will help you be able to sustain your own nourishment. And what we would like to say on this topic is sustaining your own nourishment is extremely important, because it means that it will be much harder to control you. You will not be needing so much from other people because you will be self-resourced energetically. When you are self-resourced energetically, you often become resourced physically. You often become resourced financially. What so many people don't realize is when you have gone through really deep relationships that were not healthy for you, it would have shrunken down your heart field and you would not have known to expand that. Does it naturally expand when you're loved by the right people? Yes. But for many, many people, it is a conscious choice to keep the heart field small, because even though they are loved and they are in love, they do not feel safe. This is what we mean when we see someone with one foot in, one foot out in a relationship, or someone who cannot truly trust. If you expand the heart field, you will expand your ability to trust. You will expand your ability to feel safe within any container that you might be in. And you will really know at the core of your being that you have everything that you need. So many people were raised with people who did not teach them how to have their own independence, and they instead took from or fed off of the energy field, or controlled it or manipulated it in some way, maybe intentionally or unintentionally, causing the heart field to stay small. In a lot of the cases that we see people with enormously beautiful heart fields that just stopped expanding them at some point because things got too difficult. Because there are two pieces to this puzzle. There's expanding the heart field, and there's also knowing that you are so deeply worthy. If you do not have good worthiness, but you have a strong heart field, you will attract all the wrong people, because they can see that you are deeply resourced. They can see that you will hold them emotionally. They can see that you will cross your boundaries for them, and they can see this energetically. They can feel it. And so this is why you run into so many people with huge hearts, because they've learned to be love when they did not receive it. But what they also did not learn was to be worth, because they did not receive it. And so we would say, if you're struggling with this problem, then apples will not help you, but strong self-worth will. And really taking a look daily at what positive impact do I create just by being me? What ripple effect do I create just by being myself? And really seeing the good parts of who you are as a person will really assist you in strengthening the heart field for the boundary aspect. If you do not have self-worth, even if you have a strong heart field, you will not have strong boundaries energetically, which means that your heart field can easily be accessed and manipulated, which means hooks and cords and all of that icky stuff will be very easy to plug into you. And so we invite you to really look into self-worth. If this is something you are struggling with, this channel has certainly struggled with that throughout her life, and has had to learn, as many of us do, right? Because we grow within things, we learn through experience. And so we enjoy sharing things here simply because it's a way to share information that might not be something you might ordinarily come across. So we enjoy sharing. And so what we really wanted to summarize is that expanding your heart field can help you with anything in life. including manifestation, holding on to what you've created, calling in the right soul family due to the recognition aspect, healing the earth, healing your body and your vessel, we would encourage you to focus on your heart health in every way, including the energetic, because the energetic will definitely have effects on the physical.